So we have with us Miss Aarti Neharsh, founding member and director at Green Chutney Films. Thank you, Aarti, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Anjana. Thank you.
So, Aarti, tell us a bit about your campaign for Brillare, Live Your Truth. What was what was the idea behind it? What inspired the concept, and what all went behind it?
So for Brilaire's campaign, Live Your Truth. So we've done campaigns with Brillaire before. This was not the first campaign that we did. Having said that, the previous campaigns that we did with Brillaire were more product focused.
Hmm.
And this is the first time where, because we had a certain comfort with the brand, we also like the creative team, which is headed by Manan in Green Chutney Films. So his team, Dora wrote the ideas and she wrote the scripts, and Live Your Truth was a campaign that came from her. So I think that trust that we developed with Brillaire over the last two campaigns that we did before Live Your Truth, I think that also made them trust us more, and for us it was a treat, right? Because it's a beauty brand, and we got to do a campaign that was so story led,
Right.
and that's always great for the creative team. So I think that really helped, that they trusted us with it, and they thought that, okay, like, we have the interest of the brand, but at the same time we want to break away from the usual beauty ads that come out, and we just want to, because Brillare is a product that does emphasize a lot on their honesty, rather than the packaging. So we thought that why not take that and have a campaign based on that, by having stories which also serve that. So Live Your Truth came from there.
So there was no creative agency involved in it. It was
No, no, there
that's
wasn't.
really great. It's great.
So we at Green Chutney, we also conceptualize most of the campaigns that we do. We work with the clients directly, because we have an in-house team of writers. We have people who've been ex-agency um, uh, members. So that also gives us a lot of creative liberty. Like when I'm directing, it
Hmm.
just gives me a lot of freedom to like treat the script the way I also want to treat it, because we, like, the writers are my team. So yeah.
So, what were some of the challenges that you faced, during its execution? How long did it take for you to complete the project?
How long? From the conceptualizing, it went on for months actually. But when the once the scripts were locked, after that, execution, I think, happened within like a week or 2 weeks or something, once the scripts were locked. Um, some of the challenges, yeah, they were also interesting challenges, because this was the first time I was shooting vertical. So
Okay.
that was an interesting thing, like, because the scripts were so cinematic. The character, it was very like nuanced, very like soft, very emotional, very character driven scripts. So usually, like, the filmmaker in me is just like, obviously this has to be horizontal, right? This can't be
Yeah.
vertical. And like, we don't usually like our films being cut in like vertically for Instagram and all, because you've put in that work to create that frame and everything. But I think that Brillaire, because they were very sure that they wanted to do vertical, so me and my DOP Siddharth Kemka, we both like thought that, okay, if they're very sure they want to do it vertically, then let's frame vertically. Like, let's not try to crop a horizontal film vertical. Let's actually um, conceptualize and think of the films vertically. Uh, and that required some like unlearning, some like pushing the envelope a little, because um, but it was also very like I was very happy, because we got to do a lot of interesting things, like the staging of the characters. Usually, when you're shooting horizontally, you stage the characters in a two shot, which will cover the frame horizontally. But here we're like, okay, it's vertical. So how can both characters be seen in this vertical frame, by staging them like back and front? So, small things like that. Um, which sort of made the film true to its like format. Like then I didn't want to increase the number of cuts or like didn't I didn't want the format to dictate the story. I just wanted that Thera to be there, that
Right.
the whatever the story requires, right? Like the characters require. So I wanted that to be the language of the film, which I think we managed by actually thinking vertical in terms of staging and all of those things. So even their actions and everything were just like how they can be seen in a vertical frame.
Great. So, Aarti, what inspired you to get into ad filmmaking, and how has your journey been since then? How has it evolved?
Uh, it's so I actually I didn't know I wanted to do ad filmmaking. I went to a liberal arts college and there I did film as a major because I just like liked holding the camera and like liked shooting and everything. And after college, I because my college was away from home, I wanted to spend some time with my family before I move out again. So my plan was always like, if I want to do film, I'll come to Bombay directly. And I had seniors who had come to Bombay who started assisting directors and everything. But then I went back to Ahmedabad, which is my hometown and where my family lives. And there I met Green Chutney folks. Like I met Chintan, Manan, Rahul, Manashri. So these like that time Green Chutney was like it was just getting formed. So I met them and I felt like A, creatively we aligned a lot. And secondly, I just felt like because everyone was ambitious, everyone wanted to make films and wanted to actually create. Um, I found that the team had an interesting space for uh, for growing talent. And I joined Green Chutney. I assisted for a year, but then in my second year itself, they like in fact Chintan only pushed me, and he was like, "Why don't you write your own short film?" And then I wrote my short film, and then we made it in like my second or third year after college, which was pretty fast. And then that picked up in festivals. And automatically that gives you confidence as a director, right? When you feel like okay, your work is getting recognized. And then I think I got the confidence to like simultaneously work with brands. We as a company also started getting ads. And yeah, I think then it's just been like back to back, like working on ads, improving the craft, uh, understanding more, and we've been lucky to keep getting like good work now. So yeah.